Our mission is building healing centers, fructose corn syrup, one of them, grapevine.
Iodine has been used for a long time, dating back to the late 1800s through the early 1900s. Iodine deficiency is rampant. There's only any doctor you go to will not be able to tell you what your iodine levels are unless you go through what Dr. Brownstein and Dr. Guy Abraham developed, the iodine loading test. It's the only accurate iodine testing that's out there. But iodine is the number one deficiency and the number one reason worldwide for mental retardation. And it's because pregnant women are not getting enough iodine. Iodine deficiency is also associated with ADD, ADHD, autism, and you need iodine to fight any infection. Most people don't know that the white blood cells need iodine to fight infections. Iodine helps repair the adrenal glands. It's a pH adaptogen. This is crazy. I think it's the only, maybe lemon juice, but it's the only pH adaptogen that I know of, which means it regulates and adjusts your pH up and down. Every single cell in the body needs iodine. No hormone can be produced without adequate iodine. Iodine is responsible for the formation of all glandular tissue. And guess what glandular tissue is? That's your immune system. That's everything. It is the core of immune function, not only the core of immune function, because believe it or not, a lot of your immune system starts in the gut. I mean, everything starts in the gut, right? I mean, your gut is, and I've been, trying to educate people on how important the gut is for years and years and years and years, and all disease starts in the gut. All health begins in the gut. And guess what works great for gut health? Iodine does. They actually took iodine. I mean, I'm not going to get into conspiracy theories here, but iodine was the biggest threat to the pharmaceutical companies in the world. And that's why they took it out of bread. They took it out of wheat products in the 1970s. They took it out of salt because they knew iodine by itself could pretty much wipe out the majority of all the diseases and all the symptoms that people are suffering from. And not only that, but what they did was they started introducing soy into our diet. And guess what soy does? Soy estrogens, actually inhibit the absorption of iodine within your body. And all those endocrine disrupting chemicals, the phthalates, the glyphosate, all that stuff, it inhibits your absorption of iodine. So like all the things they're trying to do out there to us, like poisoning our air, poisoning our food, poisoning our water, doesn't it sound strange to you that most of those things have to do with iodine, blocking iodine? What about all the bromide, the fluoride, the chlorine that's calcifying the pineal gland? Guess what? Iodine is the only thing that detoxifies that. Dr. Mark Serkis was doing some studies on iodine. He found that 20,000 micrograms a day of iodine actually resulted in urinary excretion of lead, cadmium, mercury, arsenic, fluoride, and bromide. So iodine is actually a universal detoxifier as well. Think about that. Think about iodine for everything. Iodine can pull out mercury from the body. It can detoxify bromide, which is, in my book, one of the top 10 killers and disease-causing agents known to man. It puts your thyroid, your whole hormone system out of whack. So does fluoride. And guess what? The only thing that you can use to detoxify yourself from iodine, or actually using iodine to detoxify yourself from bromide toxicity. How many doctors out there do you know that are testing for bromide and fluoride and all that stuff? Nobody. That's why it's so important to just detoxify your body all the time, because detoxification is the way to reactivate your body's self-healing mechanism. All right, so there's a lot of controversy out there, though, regarding how much iodine to take. And I am very controversial in that. I think the RDA is around 148 or something like that micrograms a day. But I've also talked to Dr. Brownstein. I've done tons of research on iodine, and I think that, I mean, what we've been recommending, what people have been telling us is getting them really, really, really good results is anywhere between 15,000 and 25,000 micrograms a day, or at least every other day. Let me rephrase that. If you're taking that much a day, you can do that to boost your immune system. You can do that in a time where you might be susceptible to some form of harmful organism coming in your body. Or let's say you start showing signs and symptoms of a harmful organism in your body. You know, what we recommended was, and Dr. Brownstein was recommending, was 25,000 to 50,000 micrograms a day of iodine. Iodine is completely safe for children, pregnant mothers. As a matter of fact, I've been giving my kids iodine from the time they were born. You know, just a couple times a week, I'll put like 2 or 3 drops in their food or just 2 or 3 drops in their mouth, and it's amazing the results, especially like in school and their mental acuity, all that stuff. Now, here's the big, shocking, well, it's not too shocking, but believe it or not, when iodine was the original antibiotic. It was actually sold under Lugol's solution, and it was used until the big pharma developed pharmaceutical antibiotics. Guess what was used for any infection, whether it was virus, whether it was bacterial, whether it was mold, whether it was yeast, whether it was protozoa, any of that stuff. This is all stuff that's been used for 100 years already. Iodine. So when you talk about like boosting the immune system, sterilizing water, iodine can be used on your skin for all different types of skin conditions. It can be taken internally. It can be mixed in water and used as an eye solution. It can be nebulized, actually, was one of the things that we've been doing a lot of here recently in the last 4 months, is a nebulizing solution with iodine. And I'll post, maybe I'll post that in the chat later on. So iodine is one of the things that is just the most versatile supplement that you can use for just thyroid function, endocrine function, gut health, all that stuff. Back in the 1910, I put something here that I wanted to read to you because I found this when we were doing our research, and it says the 11th edition. The 11th edition of the 1911, this is 1911 Encyclopedia Britannica. This is a quote, cites as the usual doses of 300 to 900 milligrams, 300 to 900 milligrams, that's 300,000 to 900,000 micrograms of iodine daily. That's what they were saying to use in 1910 and 1911. That's over 2,000 times more than the recommendations that we have by the FDA and the RDA. Dr. Gabriel Cousins used iodine to wipe out syphilis, skin lesions, and chronic lung disease, and he used 6 grams daily for that, which is 6 million micrograms. So that's how safe it is. Now, I'm not recommending that. I'm just quoting you some of the shocking research findings that I had available just to share with you. So I don't think you need all that. I don't think you need to, go to that big of a of a dosage at all. I haven't found that. But let me tell you, if I was stranded and I didn't have anything, or regardless of whatever health condition I had, I would just continue to just keep taking more and more and more and more iodine.